This is Valley News Live at 6.
Good evening, everyone. We have an update on a story we first broke to you this morning. Tonight, one man is in the Cass County jailhouse after police say he barricaded himself inside a vehicle with a gun. 29-year-old Joshua Hollensander of Horace was arrested for terrorizing, preventing arrest, refusal to halt, and fleeing in a motor vehicle, which is a Class C felony. The early morning incident forced several people living in the area to shelter in place for more than 6 hours. Between the hours of 5 and noon, authorities worked in the area of the 2700th block of Villa Drive and the 1300 block of Gate Drive South. Around 9:30, the bomb squad had to be called in to safely remove a suspicious device from the vehicle.
As it played out, he certainly secreted himself to the bitter end there. He did surrender at the end without incident, which was good, but this could have went a lot of different ways. So again, I think our approach, both from a tactical perspective and the safety of our officers' perspective, was excellent.
No further details are being released at this time, but later on Valley News Live at 10, we will have a full breakdown of what led to this incident. Also breaking tonight, police are naming 2 persons of interest who are believed to be involved in several unauthorized uses of personal identification and check fraud in Fargo in the name of the Cass County Jail. Police are seeking information about 37-year-old Amy Murray. She is 5'7" and 150 pounds. And 28-year-old Dominique Sigmundick is 5'2" and 170 pounds. If you have information, contact police on their tip line. You can find details on how to do this on our website, download the VNL News app, and click on this story. We're now learning about a flooding this week at the Moorhead Rehab Center. It's forcing some patients to seek care elsewhere. One woman tells us she was sent to a facility more than 100 miles away. The center did confirm the flooding, but we are waiting to hear back for the details. Let's get a quick check of your forecast now with summer as snow continues for some across the valley.
Hey Courtney, this wasn't the sight across the entire region today. We did see some snow throughout much of the morning and into the afternoon hours across the Fargo Metro, but things are really starting to quiet down now, at least for us here. Most of that snow has now pushed off across portions of west central Minnesota and out towards eastern Minnesota as well. There have been a few moderate to heavier snow bands moving through the Detroit Lakes area, and there has been a few little missing areas of radar, just being that it's so far away from the radar beam, but still seeing some moderate heavy snow across eastern Minnesota as well. But the bullseye of this storm, the heavier parts, are down across southern Minnesota and eastern South Dakota. We were on the northern edge. I don't have many snowfall reports at all. Here at the station, I measured right between 1.5 and 2 inches. Another area in South Fargo measured 1.7, 1.5 in North Moorhead. I would love to hear your snowfall reports. If you've got them, send them over my way, summer.schnellbach@valleynewslive.com.
All right, thanks so much, Summer, and we'll check back in with you a little later in the newscast. Joe Biden's presidency is still in its infancy, but there are signs of change in Washington, D.C. For starters, gone are the barricades and the large police presence that we saw in the days leading up to the inauguration. Those who cover the goings-on in Washington say they are noticing some early differences between now and then.
You know, when President Trump, every day when he was in office, during his 4 years in office, we had to essentially have our phones by our side or our computers on practically 24 hours a day because of all the tweets the president would put out. That's not something that I expect will be the case with President Biden.
That was White House correspondent for Gray TV, John Decker. Valley News Team's Mike Morgan spoke exclusively with him, and you can watch the entire interview by going to our website at valleynewslive.com or the VNL News app. Congressman Kelly Armstrong wrote a letter to congressional leadership calling for an immediate investigation after National Guard troops securing the U.S. Capitol were ordered out of the building and ordered to rest in an active parking garage. In his letter, Armstrong says he was appalled by the decision, saying guardsmen unnecessarily faced conditions that included cold temperatures, no internet service, limited restroom access, enclosed space with vehicles driving through the facility, and cramped quarters during a pandemic. A Fargo healthcare worker says she felt lost in the shuffle after spending her day scrambling to get her second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. As a PRN for a local nursing home, she was given her first shot of the Pfizer vaccine. 21 days later, she came to work for her second dose and got turned away. The facility says she was no longer employed with them, and because of this, she would need to go elsewhere to get her second shot. We investigated after she called our whistleblower hotline, and Sanford doctors say it's something they're seeing a lot of.
Working on, okay, if we get documentation, trying to accommodate those with our allocated second doses.
FargoCast Public Health told us they are working to develop a process to assist individuals in this situation, but would not grant us an interview until it is fully developed. 3 former grand jurors involved in the Breonna Taylor case want Kentucky's Attorney General impeached. Their petition alleges Daniel Cameron misrepresented their findings in the indictments against Louisville police officials involved in Taylor's death. None of those officers were charged. A lawyer representing the former jurors says Cameron missued them. Larry King has died at the age of 87. Dan Sheneman takes a look back at the long life of the legendary broadcaster.
Do you pinch yourself saying, come on, you're one of the most powerful women in the world?
Larry King was a broadcasting legend.
Detroit, hello.
For more than 60 years, his unique interviewing style brought celebrities and newsmakers into millions of homes.
How did you emotionally hold up through all that?
Well, I'm here.
I know, but how? What is it? Is some
From presidents
I don't know. As a matter of fact, I've never been in the Watergate. Never been in the hotel. Never been in the hotel. Never been in the restaurant.
to A-list entertainers.
Frank Sinatra. That's still a kick.
Absolutely.
Bum, 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 bum. Got a date with an angel.
King knew how to get people to open up.
Get me out of here.
And America loved it. For 25 years, starting in 1985, he hosted CNN's Larry King Live. At his peak, King's show reached more than 1 million people each night.
I want to be surprised every night. The best shows for me is when I go, yeah, wow.
In 1993, a debate over the North American Free Trade Agreement between Vice President Al Gore and Ross Perot was watched by 11 million people. At the time, a record for cable television. Born Larry Ziegler, King changed his name when he began his radio career in the 1950s. He survived a heart attack in 1987 and was married 8 times to 7 different women. After stepping down from Larry King Live in 2010, King had second thoughts about retirement and took his show to the internet, debuting Larry King Now in 2012.
I love asking questions. I'm very much into people, and you never lose that.
Larry King, a radio and television icon. He asked the questions Americans wanted to ask. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, there's a lot of leftover alcohol after airlines couldn't serve during the pandemic, and they want to give it to you.
And once the snow moves out, the cold is going to move in. I'll break down the details of a wind chill advisory coming up just after the break.